Hello everybody, welcome to Gene's Reviews. Movie reviews from a regular dude. Okay, I decided to do a video today. A lot of people seem to kind of like those ones where I'm telling about different things I've done and just basically talking and everything. So I'm going to do one today on all the different, well maybe not all of them, but a lot of the different jobs that I've had over the years. I just recently turned 58 years old, so I've had quite a few different places that I've worked, and some of them were pretty good, some of them were pretty bad. But I'm gonna start kind of at the beginning. When I was a sophomore in high school, I went the first quarter at Jordan High School, which is no longer there, and I worked for my uncle in a restaurant called the Potato Pit. And what that was they would take these baked potatoes and just cut them open and then stuff them with all kinds of different things. And I worked for him washing dishes, basically. And that was the first job I ever had, was at the Potato Pit. And then we moved, trying to think, okay, yeah, we moved to what's called West Valley City now. It was Granger, Utah, when I lived there, and that was in the middle of my sophomore year. My uncle had another restaurant there called the Potato Cellar, C-E-L-L-A-R, and it just had a different name. It was the same thing. I worked there. Then it was kind of fun. You know, I worked for my uncle there, and he's pretty cool to work for, so that was fun. And then when I was junior in high school, we moved to a town in central Utah called Gunnison. Now this is a really, really small town. It had 240 students in the whole school, and it was 7th through 12th grade at the school. I was then 11th at the time. When we first moved there, I got a job in the grocery store there, bagging groceries, and it was called Happy Service Grocery Store. And I was just basically a bag boy. I would bag groceries and take people's groceries out to their car and stuff like that. Well, I went into work one day and they was just cutting back, and they just took me off the schedule. They didn't fire me because of anything I did wrong or anything like that. They just didn't really need the help anymore. So then I went to work in that same town at a car dealership / gas station called Peterson Chevrolet. They had a few gas pumps right out front, and we would pump gas for people, and we would wash and detail the cars that came in. And I have kind of an interesting experience. This was like trying to think, it would have been 77, 78, the school year there. So I was working there, and the dealer had just got in a brand new Corvette limited edition pace car, and it was really, really souped up and really nice. And I remember it was silver, and I think it had black in it too, but it was one of those pace cars. And I think back then it was probably about 30 grand or something like that. Well, we were washing it in the wash bay, and I went to pull it out, and we had been cleaning the drains out in the wash bay, and I had left the drain off. So I drove the front tire right into the drain of the car, drove the car into the drain. And I was all panicked. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be paying on this the rest of my life and everything. And I was all worried about it. But one of the mechanics happened to be there, and he just got a jack and went underneath the car and jacked it up, and we slid the grate back in where it went and then let the car down, and it didn't do any damage to it or anything. So I kind of dodged a bullet with that one. Although I will admit, even though that happened, I still had the idiotic idea to take it out one night for a spin after we closed. And I actually did drive it around town and stuff. just to see how it would handle and everything, and it was pretty fun, but I never did hurt it, so I just took it back. And let's see, that was the last job that I had there, because then we ended up moving to the Logan, Utah area, and I went to Skyview High School for my senior year. My first job my senior year in high school was working at a restaurant called the Sizzler. I'm sure all of you have heard of Sizzler. I worked there washing dishes, I worked there cooking, I worked there a couple different times. I also worked at a chicken restaurant called Brandy's Basket for a short time, and I worked at a place in Logan, Utah that's no longer. They actually got rid of all these restaurants. They were all over Utah. It was called Dee's Drive-In. They had the D Burger Clown and everything. That was one of the most fun jobs I've ever had in my life. Had a lot of friends that worked there, and we just play around a lot. After work, we'd stay. After work, we'd stay there and just like play the guitar and sing. And we bought boxing gloves, and we'd go down in the basement and have boxing matches and all kinds of stuff. It was pretty crazy. And then, let's see, after that, I graduated high school and everything. I think I probably went back to the Sizzler because I worked there 2 or 3 different times. I worked at a cheese plant. That wasn't a very good job. I also worked in the wash bay at a trucking company, washing out the trailers and washing the semis and stuff like that. And it was a meat packing plant, so we'd have to take the meat hooks and hang them up inside the trailer and spray them all off and clean them and everything. So I did that for a while. Then I drove the shuttle truck around the yard, back in the trailers in. I drove long haul for a year with my dad. I drove locally, hauling that tallow incident, hauling that to Ogden, Utah, and the name of the place was American Nutrition. I remember the name of it. I would also take like just local loads of frozen food and stuff down to Salt Lake City and deliver that. And let's see, after that, I went to work for Walmart. I also drove cab in between there. That wasn't good. That wasn't a good job at all. I drove cab. I worked at a distribution center called Nicholas & Company where I picked orders. That wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. It was hard work, but it wasn't bad. And I loaded trucks at that place, Miller's. Anyways, I've had a lot of different jobs. This is probably getting pretty boring right now, so I'm pretty much going to stop there. My favorite of all my jobs that I've had is restaurant work. I love waiting tables. If I could go back to waiting tables, I would in a heartbeat. Where I'm living right now, it seems like they mostly want young girls waiting the tables. They haven't said that. They haven't come right out and said that to me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and they figure I'm too old for it. Anyways, that's pretty much most of the jobs I've had. And if you like this video, let me know in the comments down below. Like it, share it, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and when you subscribe, tap that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. See you next time. Yeah!